Welcome back to the deep dive,
Yeah.
where we take your sources
Mm-hmm.
and extract those golden nuggets of knowledge.
Yeah.
Today, we're venturing into the Helium network ecosystem,
Right.
a world of wireless connectivity, community-driven infrastructure,
Yeah.
and some interesting challenges.
Ah,
Specifically, we're looking at the future of CBRS radios,
okay.
a technology that hasn't quite lived up to its initial promise. You might be thinking, CBRS radios, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
Well, this isn't just about tech specs. It's about a community grappling with resource allocation,
Mhm.
technological adoption, and perhaps a little bit of that cool factor
That's right.
that often accompanies cutting-edge tech.
I like that.
Our source for this deep dive, a proposal from the Helium network itself,
Oh, interesting.
lays out a plan to phase out these radios. Ready to unpack it?
I think what's interesting here is this situation really throws light on the evolution of a decentralized network in real time. The Helium network is trying to balance its ambitious goals with the practical realities of how this tech is actually performing out in the world.
It's a fascinating case study for sure.
Hmm.
But before we go there, let's make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay.
What exactly are CBRS radios and what role were they supposed to play in the Helium network?
CBRS stands for Citizens Broadband Radio Service. It's a slice of the radio spectrum in the U.S. that was opened up for shared use, and Helium saw an opportunity to leverage this for their Helium mobile network.
Okay.
The initial idea was that these radios would provide data offload for Helium mobile.
Interesting.
Think of your phone seamlessly switching between traditional cell towers and Helium's decentralized network, potentially leading to lower costs and wider coverage.
I recall the excitement when CBRS entered the scene.
Right.
It felt revolutionary. But then
And
it seems things took an unexpected turn.
They did. The proposal paints a rather stark picture of the current situation.
Sure.
Despite the initial optimism, only around 4,000 CBRS radios are currently active on the network. That's a mere 2% of the entire Helium network.
2%.
Yeah.
That seems like a surprisingly low adoption rate for technology with so much initial promise.
Right.
What contributed to this outcome?
A couple of factors seem to be at play.
Okay.
Firstly, the technology turned out to be more resource-intensive than initially anticipated.
I see.
You might be wondering,
Yeah.
why were CBRS radios getting such a big chunk of network rewards in the first place?
Exactly.
Well, they consume a significant portion, between 10% and 15% of network rewards.
Wow.
Despite their relatively limited contribution to the network's overall data traffic, additionally, they've generated a disproportionate amount of support tickets, suggesting that there are technical complexities that are proving to be difficult to manage.
It does raise the question of whether the juice is worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
A small percentage of devices consuming a significant chunk of resources and causing operational headaches. That's a tough spot to be in. So where do we go from here?
Yeah.
This is where HIP 139 comes in, right?
Precisely. HIP 139 is a proposal that seeks to phase out CBRS radio rewards on the Helium network by March 1st, 2025.
Okay.
It's a significant step, acknowledging that the initial vision for CBRS within the network may need to be reevaluated.
March 2025 is not that far off.
Yeah.
What's the plan for the CBRS radio owners? Are they just left stranded?
Not at all. The proposal outlines a trade-in program where eligible CBRS radio owners can exchange their equipment for free Wi-Fi hotspots.
Really?
It's an interesting approach, a way to acknowledge that the CBRS implementation didn't pan out as expected, and to provide a path forward for those who invested in the technology.
Free Wi-Fi hotspots. That's a
Yeah.
generous offer.
Yeah.
But it begs the question,
Yeah.
why Wi-Fi specifically?
Yeah.
What makes it the preferred alternative in this scenario?
The Helium Foundation seems to be doubling down on Wi-Fi as a cornerstone of their network infrastructure, particularly for their goal of providing connectivity and offloading cellular data. Wi-Fi is a more mature and reliable technology for achieving this objective at this point in time.
Interesting.
So these trade-ins could be viewed as a way to incentivize a shift within the network, moving resources away from a less effective technology and towards one that aligns more strongly with their current goals.
So it's about encouraging a transition, shifting gears from CBRS to Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And the different trade-in options suggest they're trying to make this process as smooth as possible for CBRS owners, wouldn't you say?
The proposal does offer a range of options catering to different types of CBRS equipment. Owners of indoor CBRS radios are eligible for a free indoor Wi-Fi hotspot. Those with the more powerful outdoor CBRS radios have a choice. They can opt for either one outdoor Wi-Fi hotspot or 3 indoor ones.
Offering choice is a good way to accommodate the diverse needs of the CBRS owners within the network.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Helium Foundation is funding this entire program through a grant speaks volumes about their commitment to this transition, doesn't it?
It demonstrates a willingness to put resources behind their vision for the future of the network.
Yeah. It's also a way of taking responsibility for the fact that the CDRS implementation didn't meet expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But what about those who aren't keen on switching to Wi-Fi? What other options are available to them?
That's a great question. What happens to those who want to explore alternative paths?
The proposal does mention the option of reflashing the CBRS equipment back to its original stock firmware. This essentially turns it into generic CBRS gear that could potentially be utilized for applications outside the Helium network.
So it's not a dead end for the CBRS hardware.
Right.
There are avenues to explore if one is willing to step outside the confines of the Helium ecosystem. It's like opening a door to a whole new set of possibilities.
The proposal even points people towards resources like the Ongo Alliance and Magma. These organizations can help explore different use cases for CBRS technology. It's an invitation to think beyond the initial vision and consider the broader potential of this technology. It's a fascinating example of how technological evolution often involves adapting and finding new ways to leverage existing resources. Speaking of adaptation, this shift in focus within the Helium network from CBRS to Wi-Fi raises some intriguing questions about the ripple effects within the ecosystem. Who stands to gain and who might face new challenges in this evolving landscape?
It's crucial to analyze the potential impact of this proposal on various stakeholders within the Helium network. Let's start by considering who might benefit from this shift. One group that could see a positive outcome is the Wi-Fi hotspot deployers. If the resources currently allocated to CBRS are redirected towards Wi-Fi, it's reasonable to expect an increase in rewards for those running Wi-Fi hotspots. It's a classic case of supply and demand at play.
So it's like a shift in the balance of power within the network, with Wi-Fi potentially gaining a more prominent role. What about those on the other side of the equation, the CBRS hotspot deployers? What does this shift mean for them?
They're the ones at a crossroads facing a critical decision. Do they embrace the trade-in offer and transition to Wi-Fi, aligning themselves with the network's evolving priorities? Or do they venture outside the familiar territory of the Helium network and explore those alternative use cases for their CBRS equipment? It's a choice between staying within the ecosystem or forging a new path.
It's almost like they're being presented with an opportunity to become pioneers again, much like those who embraced the Helium network in its early days. But let's not forget about another key stakeholder, the mobile token holders. How might they be affected by this proposal?
That's where things get a little more nuanced. For those who might not be familiar, mobile tokens are tied to HNT distribution and rewards within the Helium mobile network. So if there's a substantial shift away from CBRS and towards Wi-Fi, it could potentially influence the way HNT is allocated. And that in turn could have financial implications for mobile token holders. It underscores the interconnectedness of technical decisions and financial mechanisms within a decentralized system.
It's a reminder that even in a decentralized world, seemingly technical choices can ripple through the ecosystem, impacting those who hold a stake in its future. And we can't overlook the companies that manufacture and distribute these CBRS hotspots. What does this mean for them?
They, too, are likely to experience the impact of this shift. If demand for CBRS hotspots within the Helium network dwindles, it could lead to reduced sales for these companies. It's a reminder that technological decisions often have consequences that extend beyond the immediate users and influence the broader market landscape.
It's like a chain reaction. One decision triggering a cascade of effects across the entire system. So we've explored the potential winners and losers, but it's important to remember that every proposal has its downsides. Are there any potential drawbacks or counter-arguments to HIP 139 that we should consider?
Absolutely. Some argue that abandoning CBRS represents a step back from the initial ambition of the Helium network. There's a certain allure associated with operating a cellular network, and phasing out CBRS could be perceived as a retreat from that vision.
It's like letting go of a dream. Even if that dream hasn't quite unfolded as envisioned, it can be challenging to pivot from a vision that once held so much promise. Are there other concerns that have been raised?
Another point of contention revolves around the what-if scenario. What if CBRS technology undergoes significant advancements in the future? What if those early challenges are overcome and it becomes the game changer everyone initially anticipated? By phasing it out now, Helium could potentially miss out on future opportunities that a more mature CBRS technology might offer.
It's that age-old dilemma of cutting your losses versus holding on in the hope that things will eventually turn around. It's a tough call for sure. Are there any other aspects we should consider?
The concept of opportunity cost also comes into play here. By continuing to invest resources, time, and effort into CBRS, Helium might be diverting valuable resources away from other areas that could hold greater potential for the network's future. It's like trying to juggle too many things at once. Eventually, something has to be prioritized.
So it's a balancing act, weighing the potential benefits of persisting with CBRS against the potential opportunity cost of not focusing on other promising avenues. It's a complex decision with no easy answers.
It is. It's a multifaceted situation with valid arguments on both sides. Ultimately, the best path forward for the network depends on the collective wisdom of the Helium community and their assessment of the long-term implications of this decision.
That brings us back to the core principle of a decentralized network. The power lies with the community to determine its own destiny. It's a testament to the collaborative spirit that drives innovation in this space.
Yeah.
But before we delve into the broader implications and wrap up our deep dive, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered so far. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've explored the technical aspects of CBRS and HIP 139, delved into the rationale behind phasing out CBRS rewards, and examined the potential implications for different stakeholders within the Helium network.
It's a lot.
But what stands out to you in all of this?
What's particularly fascinating about this situation is this underlying tension between the allure of cutting-edge technology and the practical realities of building a sustainable and efficient network. You have this vision of a decentralized network seamlessly integrating a variety of technologies, cellular, Wi-Fi, CBRS, but sometimes making tough choices is necessary to ensure the ecosystem's long-term health.
It's like recognizing that progress isn't always about chasing the shiniest new object.
Whoa.
Sometimes it's about focusing on what's working.
Exactly.
Refining it and building from there.
Yeah.
But this whole CBRS situation raises a bigger question, doesn't it? What does it tell us about the challenges of navigating a rapidly evolving technological landscape, even for a community as innovative as Helium?
It highlights the fact that innovation isn't a linear path.
Right.
There are bound to be setbacks, unforeseen hurdles, and course corrections along the way.
Definitely.
The key is to learn from these experiences, adapt, and continue to push the boundaries of what's possible.
It's a reminder that even the most brilliant ideas need to be tested, iterated, and sometimes even abandoned in the pursuit of something better. And it requires a community willing to engage in these tough conversations, weigh the pros and cons, and ultimately make informed decisions.
That's where the power of decentralized governance truly shines.
Yeah.
It's the ability of a community to come together, debate complex issues, and chart its own course.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Helium Network's CBRS conundrum, we're left with a lot to ponder. What does the future hold for CBRS technology? Will the Helium Network's pivot to Wi-Fi prove to be a successful strategy? And what other challenges and opportunities lie ahead for this ambitious and ever-evolving ecosystem? We encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit that like button and subscribe to the Deep Dive for more insightful explorations of complex topics. We're always on the lookout for new ideas, so feel free to suggest other deep dives you'd like to see us tackle in the future. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.